Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to mod the look of Mass Effect 3 using a combination of a couple mods by a guy named smarteck. Well, not all the mods are by him, but he has a whole entire web page dedicated to texture files and companion mods that kind of go with his texture files and make the game look really good. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is Mass Effect 3, of course. But the first thing I would do is go and find out where Origin installed your game. Normally, on default, it installs program and your program files x86. Oops. It goes down to Origin Games, and it should be right here. However, I have it installed in another location. It's on my other hard drive, and this is where mine is installed. What we're going to do is right click on Mass Effect 3 and we're going to send it to the desktop. And what that does is we have a shortcut to where the game is located so we can have easy access, because we will be going into here quite a bit and possibly here. So that's just a nice thing to do. What you're also going to do, you may want to go to here, Mass Effect 3 bio game, cooked PC console, and then search for coalesce. There it is, .bin. You right click and you send that to your desktop. Oh wait, no, we don't want a shortcut. We want to make a copy and paste. I actually already have that, so I have it over here. I always have it just in case, because the Talon Mercenary switches around your key bindings whenever you use them, so I always keep it. If I ever use it, I can just put that back in and all my key bindings go back to normal, what I have it set as. So yeah, those are the precautions that I would use before doing any modding or anything like that. The next thing you're going to want to do is download Me3 Explorer. It'll download, and then gotta go to my downloads. It's right here. What you're gonna do is you need an extraction. You're gonna need an extraction program like WinRAR, 7-zip. We're gonna extract files. I would recommend extracting into a new folder, because it has a lot of files, well, quite a few. So I'm going to go to desktop. Oh wait, no. We're going to go to Mass Effect 3 mods, create a new folder. What was it? Me3 Explorer, and then hit OK. It's gonna extract. A minute. Okay. Go in there. Me3 Explorer, and then we can right click and then send to desktop. And then we have that. So we go ahead and double click that. If you don't want to see this thing, just unclick this. It'll shut up, phone. It'll just run the program instead of asking you if you want to run the program. Okay, so the first thing we want to do in this program, this is actually a program you can use to create mods, so which I don't know how to do at all. Cancel. And the game, it crashed, of course. Alright, first thing we're going to do is developer tools, and text explorer is what we want to do. I recommend keeping this open so that we know what's up. And the first thing we're going to do is, well, it's going to ask to modify DLC content, and you hit yes, then you select everything, and then it's going to, this takes about an hour to 2 hours depending on your computer, so we sit and wait. Okay, so after it's finished, it should say right here, it should say ready, tree scan time, and it'll say how long it took. And over here it should say tree constructed, and that's basically is just scanning everything in the game. Let's see, it took an hour and 10 minutes for me. So the next thing, this is just laying the groundwork for letting us change the texture files. So I actually don't need this at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and minimize those. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna download some texture files that we can install. So we're gonna go ahead and go to this web page right here. So I already have it open. This is the page you're going to go to. It is a bit confusing at first, so I'm just gonna walk you through the web page. The top part is just pretty much all the accolades, stuff like that. Shows a preview of what it looks supposed to look like. Right here is a mods that you can download that'll accompany the textures. I'll go over that in a bit. This is an other way to install the mod. I don't like it. It doesn't really work for me. It worked for me on Mass Effect 2, but not on Mass Effect 3, so I'm not even going to worry about it. I do it this way. So you are going to need a fairly decent computer to install these textures, if you want to install multiple textures, that is. And this is where we're going to start downloading. What you got to do, as you can see, I already downloaded some. You pick and choose which mods, textures you want to download. So when it has an option, it means you have to choose either or, because they override each other. So you want to either pick the Dark Edition or the regular edition. You want to pick with blood spots or without blood spots. So as you can see, I downloaded Vega and the Avenger model. So the Zone A is for characters. We go down to there's a lot of character textures. Zone B is weapons. So not all the weapons, but a bunch of the weapons have retextures. Zone C is sites, objects, and machinery. He actually gives you two options. So you can either go do option 1, which is just a master file, which you download. You can download this. I use this. It's way faster. It'll give you a thing with 3 downloads, and you just extract the first. You actually have these downloaded. So there it is. Let's see if I can get to it. There it is. It is right here. As you can see, it has 3 files. What you do is you open up the top one and extract just the top one. We'll hit extract it to that same location. Takes a few seconds to extract. Let me get exit out of there, and then you get one big file that has all the textures for the structures, objects, and machinery. Keep in mind, if you see 2 periods right there, make sure to remove one of them, or it will fail to install the mod, just so you know. But he also gives you an option 2, which is to just download them all individually. So we hit that button, go to individual files, and there's all the individual files if you don't want to download all of them. So that's kind of nice of him. Zone D is textures from someone other than him. So any other textures that he didn't necessarily make himself, you can download. Some of them to make some of the guys look like their ME2 counterparts. I think. Yeah, Zaid from ME2 just recoded from ME3. Yeah, there's just a bunch of mods that he didn't necessarily make, but he added into the downloads. Zone E is voice commands for some reason. I would never use that. And then Zone F is multiplayer. So once you have all of the what should I call it? Textures you want to install, you go to Tools on your Me3 Explorer. You go to Tools. TPF/DDS Tools 2.0. Click that, and then we're gonna load in a TPF. Now I already did this. It takes, I don't know, a good 5 minutes. It took me 2 to 3 minutes to install this one. So if you average that out to 2 to 3 minutes per mod, so if you have 70 mods, which is how many I think I had, it would take 2 hours to install these mods. So let's go. I'm just gonna do one at a the moment. It'll should show up like this, and then what you gotta do is you hit autofix and install, and like I said, it'll take about 2 minutes to install. Alright, so once you have all of your mods installed, you are ready to go. Now, there was one little problem you could come across, which I'm going to show you right here. What we're going to do is first I'm going to exit out of this, and we're going to start up Mass Effect 3. Alright, so this is a screen you might get if you installed a bunch of the textures. I know how to fix this problem. Go ahead and hit OK, and then we're going to get out of this. Hit Alt F4, of course. We're going to go to this website right here. It is basically gives you the ability to in Fallout you have the ability to use the in-game console. Well, in Mass Effect 3 you're not allowed to. However, this mod gives you that ability. But it also disables the DLC checker. Well, I don't know if it improves it, I guess. So go here, download this, and I already have it downloaded. What I do recommend doing, though, is it even has a folder for it. Well, first it's going to download this, so you right-click and extract, do the big deal. Go to your Mass Effect 3 folder first, and go to binaries, Win32. Right click, copy, put your backup right there. Never hurts to do that. And then we're going to go ahead and copy these two and paste. And we're going to copy and replace. And this is, that's it. That's all you got to do to fix that problem. We're going to go ahead and start Mass Effect 3 back up. You also may have problems with Mass Effect 3 crashing. I know I did a couple times. The startup will kind of like freeze for a second sometimes, like right here. But it should... if it does crash, just keep on trying. That's what I do. I mean, it's not that big a deal. So we're going to go ahead and hit to continue. It's going to try to connect to the servers. And half the time the servers are down, of course. And now it's going to check for downloadable content. It's going to freeze for a second, and there you go. What this also does, you hit the tilde key, and then you got a console. There's a bunch of console commands if you go to the Mass Effect wiki that you can look up. There's a lot of cool ones, like if you don't want to worry about money, you can give yourself money, stuff like that, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that is a way to get around the DLC check. And you should have all your texture files that you want installed. So right now, if that's all you wanted, you go ahead and I need to turn that off. Go ahead and leave. I do recommend turning off Origin in game on Mass Effect 3, as when you have all these mods, it just fixes sometimes that can cause problems. Origin in game is a piece of shit anyway. You just go to the right click, game properties, and disable it, and that can solve some problems if you do have some problems. So that's that. There's also a secondary mod if you do want to decide to do that. I'm going to show you how to install that next. Okay, a little side note before we continue is that the website that I showed you earlier is not the only place you can get texture files or anything like that. If you go to like a website like Nexus, which it's known for its Fallout and Skyrim mods, it actually has a Mass Effect 3 section, which is kind of cool. Come on, internet. There we go. Let's see. Look at their top files. Let's see here. Of course, the happy ending mod, which is not compatible with the way with the texture files. Just so you know. Let's see here. Let's go to one that's no. Here, let's just we can go to here. Textures. Come on. Oh, go. I gotta hit go. Alright, here we go. HR, set armor pack, improve the HR combat, high-res combat fatigues, improve. Like, there's a whole bunch of other ones. They're very similar to the ones that, a bunch of them are just high-res versions, but sometimes it's not safe for work versions. Yeah. So, but this, you can install any .tpf file basically. So, just so you guys know. So we're gonna go ahead and install the SweetFX Mod, which can be located on the mod page, which is right here. You hit that button, and it'll take you to the download. I already have it downloaded, so I'm going to go to that. Here it is. So now what you do is you extract it, and you should see these two. There are 3 files and folders. What you gotta do is you just go into this folder right here, Control A, and then you copy and paste it into your Mass Effect 3 binaries, 132. Wait a minute, let me make sure that's what I'm right about that. Yes, that's right, 132, and then you paste it in there. Alright, so what's really cool about this is you can actually edit it while the game is running. You just Alt-Tab, and yeah, let's go ahead and hit that config file, and when you first start, you may have to hit New Game. You just gotta find the .exe in your where your .exe for Mass Effect 3 is located. So now what's really cool about this is you can just change it to whatever setting you would like, and you can even have this option. It lets you see it shows you a comparison mode basically of what's before the mod and after the mod to see the differences, obviously. So what I just like to select everything. It has descriptions on all of these, so I'm gonna go ahead and select them all, and then we can go ahead and launch the game. Oh, I forgot to turn off my shadow play. That's not a big deal. As you can see, it's a little bit darker. It looks, I think it looks really cool, to be honest. But you can actually change the settings however you want to make it look. We're gonna go ahead and get into the single player game. Alright, so what's really cool about this mod actually is you can turn it on and off in game by hitting scroll lock. That's with it off, and that's with it on. Now, obviously you can change the settings to however you want. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. Let's let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let's just get rid of a bunch of stuff. I don't know what that is. So then we can go back in, and I don't notice a difference, but you may notice a difference. I'm not sure. But you can also change the settings even more down here. I don't like messing with that stuff because I don't know enough about the settings to change them. So I do plan on doing some more research on what each of these do, like just changing it randomly and seeing what's up. But make sure you remember what the default settings are so that you can change them back. I don't want to do that. So, but I do really like the look of the game with this mod. It makes it look amazing, in my opinion. It makes it look like a true next-gen game instead of this. This makes it's all right, I guess, but this just, I think it's really cool looking. Obviously, you don't need this mod, but it is a really cool thing that is a cool thing to install. So I believe that is it for my tutorial. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'm going to try and help you as best I can. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.